We were at war. We were being slaughtered. Our sacred trees cut down. We needed to defend ourselves.
From whom?
From you.
What's the deal, my people? Teflon in the building with another Game of Thrones Season 8 video. And in my last video, who is the Night's King, finally answered, the Night's King identity revealed. I received a lot of love from you in the comment section, and I just want to thank you for all that, because you made that video a success by hitting that thumbs up button over 500 times in 24 hours and triggering the YouTube algorithm so it can get out there to the masses, and hopefully we can keep that going. So make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified the next time I upload a new video, because we're going for it all, people. That big silver button in the sky. Help a brother out. Now, as I said earlier, I got a lot of great comments in the comment section of that video, but I also got a lot of questions in that comment section, and in this video I'm going to answer every one of those questions. I'm going to tell you why the Children of the Forest created the Night's King, and how the Children of the Forest and the Targaryens, or should I say Valyrians, are connected. So let's do this. Now, we deal with how Brynden Rivers, also known as Bloodraven, is the Night's King, even though the Night's King was created way before this man was born. All we have to do is look at one thing, and that is how Hodor got his name. Now, this is one of the most significant scenes in Game of Thrones, book or show, and this is the reason why. Now, when the Night King is attacking the Three-Eyed Raven's cave, we see Bran and Bloodraven in a vision at Winterfell, and this is when we see Willis for the second time. Now, we can clearly see that Willis is a normal kid. There is nothing wrong with him. He's just a normal strapping lad going throughout his day. But then Meera comes to Bran in the present day and says this:
Bran, we're all gonna die! Bran, wake up! Bran, you have to wake up! We need Hodor!
Hodor!
Walk into Hodor now!
And right after that, we hear Bloodraven say this to Bran:
Listen to your friend, Brandon.
So then Bran uses his power and wargs the modern day Hodor, causing Willis to become Hodor. Now, there is a couple of things they are trying to tell us by showing us this, so let's unpack this. Number one, Bran can hear Meera while he's in a dream. So that means, as we just seen, Bran is able to be in two places at one time, because we see him take control of the modern day Hodor while he's still watching young Willis become Hodor. So he's in two different places at one time. The next thing they're trying to show us is that Bran changed Willis into Hodor before he was born. So he was able to go back and affect the timeline before he was born. So when we look at the creation of the Night King, there's no reason to think that Bloodraven could not have done the exact same thing that Bran did. In fact, you must think that he did do that, because he tried to tell Bran exactly what to do.
Listen to your friend, Brandon.
How did he know Bran was able to do this unless he has done it himself? And I believe he has done this and affected all of the Targaryens' major history points. Because when we look at Daenys the Dreamer, who was the one who warned the Targaryens of the upcoming doom of Valyria, I believe that this was Bloodraven that was sending her the dreams, allowing the Targaryens to escape the doom of Valyria and come to Dragonstone. And why would that be important to the Children of the Forest? Why would the Children of the Forest want the Targaryens in Dragonstone? Because the Children of the Forest wanted their dragons. They needed their dragons, because later on, Harren the Black, the creator of Harrenhal, which is right next to the Isle of Faces, was killing the children of the forest, going on the Isle of Faces and chopping down their sacred weirwood trees and building Harrenhal. And it just so happens that when he put in the last brick of Harrenhal, a castle which walls are so high, so thick, that no army, no matter the size, could breach this castle wall, it just so happens that Aegon the Conqueror brings the only thing that could defeat Harren the Black, and that is the dragons. They also believe that when Mad King Aerys was screaming, "Burn them all," he was not talking about the citizens of King's Landing, but he was shown a vision by Bloodraven of the White Walkers and the Whites approaching King's Landing, which we will see this upcoming season, and that's why he was saying burn them all. That's why he was stashing wildfire throughout the city, and I believe that that also will come into play, because that was all a part of Bloodraven's plan, how he manipulated the past from the future, just like Bran. Now, the show has confused some book readers by adding certain parts of the book into the show. Now, in the cave, when we see Dany and Jon walking through Dragonstone, it apparently shows the White Walkers with a bearded Night King. Now, in the books, there was no Night King during the first long night. He didn't come until later. He was the 13th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. And when he met a White Walker female and he didn't pull out and blew it up in her, apparently this is what changed him into the Night's King. And he crowned himself and named himself the Night's King and her the Night's Queen. That Night's King was defeated and killed a long time ago. We're not talking about that person. We're talking about the Night King that is flying around on Dragonback as we speak. We're talking about that person. The unbearded one is maybe an easier way to describe it so people understand and know who I'm talking about. The one who was stabbed in the chest with the dragon glass. I believe Bloodraven warged him back when that was happening and got trapped inside that man's body, and that's what made him the Night's King, or Night King, that we see today. Further proof that Brynden Rivers, aka Bloodraven, is Night's King is his sigils. Now, when you look at the sigil of his mother, which happens to be a northern woman, it is a dead weirwood tree with crows surrounding it. Exactly what he becomes when he becomes the three-eyed raven. And then we look at his personal sigil, it is a white dragon, and that is what the Night's King is flying. Also, when we look at the creation of the Night's King and we see Brynden Rivers' face in this weirwood tree, you can clearly see that this tree is bound by vines. You can look and see that it's being tied up, just like this guy is before he gets stabbed. Now, I do believe that I have answered every question that was left in the comment section for people who didn't quite understand where I was going when I created this theory. And I hope that this clarifies things for you and you understand it a little more. But if you don't, you can always leave your comment in the comment section, whether you agree or whether you disagree. Is that you be respectful when leaving your comment. We are all fans of the same TV show and the same book series, and everyone's opinion is valid. So, that being said, you know who it is. Peace! And stay sexy.